There's a lot of people who don't have funding, that don't have experience, and don't have knowledge about what they need to do or to get a project completed here in this Bay Area. There's a lot of people who don't have funding, that don't have experience, and don't have knowledge about what they need to do or to get a project completed here in this Bay Area, and all of the intricacies and all of the specific details that come into play with bureaucracy and things like that in order to get it completed, right? Because there's, laws change here yearly, and it's important that you find someone who really knows what they're doing, and you need guidance of a realtor to really help you walk that path. I think it's really important to note as well that for a buyer, it doesn't cost them anything to pull off of a realtor's knowledge and experience and guidance, right? And I think some people get the misconception that if they go directly through the developer, that they might get a better deal, and that's not true at all.
No. The contract.
I've heard lots of I've seen rumors, on social media, people making comments and stuff. And they say that, there's certain realtors that won't take you to certain developments because they don't want to work with realtors. And for me, I just want to put it out there because, I do have clients coming to me with these certain types of developments. And that's a red flag, right? If a developer is not wanting to work with an agent, it's not because they don't want to pay the commission. Because mind you, these people are buying lots and turning them into condos and making a huge profit, which equates to a huge capital gains. And the commission that they pay is 100% deductible. Yeah. Right? So it's not this big cost that's coming out of their pocket. The reason for not wanting to work with realtors is because they want to be able to really manipulate the clients, and they don't want someone who's knowledgeable representing them and advocating for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So I think that's a really, really important point to make. You don't pay for it. You get free guidance, you get free legal guidance and advocacy, and you have someone who knows the market and who knows the in and outs and who knows what the contracts are supposed to look like, that's advocating for you, and we have boots on the ground, and it's just an invaluable resource that doesn't even cost you anything, right?
Exactly.
We're gonna try to save you as much as we can.
Right. It's difficult because it goes from one to the next. But as far as really that risk aversion, I think when it comes to unexperienced developers, which, they're justified, right?
Yeah.
Another one is, renders are really, really, really important. I think a lot of developers don't understand the importance of having good renders that really illustrate the space.
Of course.
Because they're used to seeing an empty lot and being able to envision
That's their job.
what that's going to be, right? That's what they do every day.
Yeah.
But when you have someone who works in financing or works in IT come down here and they're trying to imagine what this is going to look like at the end,
they're never going to do it.
They can't do it. So renders are super important, and I know they can be spendy to make, but it's such an invaluable resource for the developer.
Right.
And then, if possible, I know some developments, they get sold out before they have the opportunity to have a showroom.
Yeah.
But I think that's the second most important thing for being able to ease clients' nerves, is really having that
what am I getting?
touchy, physical example of
what you need that emotion,
and what the end result is going to be. Other than that, people get really scared about. I think there's a difference here, okay, and I think this is definitely an elephant in the room that should be addressed. As opposed to buying in Canada, I think it's common to have a trust, right? When it's pre-construction, you deposit into a trust. And that's not the case here, because a developer should have part of their funds. They should have at least 60% that they're funding for the construction, right? But a good 30-35% of the funds for the construction itself is coming from the sales. So your money is not going into a trust. It's going directly to the developer so they can build. And this just kind of circles, back around to why it's important to use a reputable developer, someone who has a good track record, someone who has a really solid Profeco registered contract, and a good realtor who's going to be able to guide you through that process. Because again, like you said, there is that element of risk, and that's where you're getting those 25% discounts. But there's a good way to also minimize your risk at the same time while maximizing your ROI.
Yeah,
I love that.
definitely.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, very well put.
Talking about behind the scenes,
Yeah.
a lot of what we do too is market the properties, right? We have to do all the marketing, feeding all of our contacts with new updates. It's our responsibility when we're representing the developer to feed those things to all of these people that are investing in the project and possible campaigns that are out there through all the channels, Facebook, podcasts,
Yeah,
YouTube,
YouTube,
so
everywhere.
all these things, you think
Yeah.
that they're little things, but they're all seeds that you're adding to
To a great project.
a great project, great product, and make sure that
Yeah, very
I
important about it.
agree with you, and I think especially coming from a standpoint with developers, Puerto Vallarta is kind of revolutionizing the way real estate is done in Mexico, right? And this is 2024, and I think you can't underestimate the power of digital marketing.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of places, like if you're going to Mexico City, maybe, or Guadalajara, or any other, maybe San Miguel de Allende, I'm not really sure. It's more of a kind of door-to-door thing, right?
Yeah,
You're
still.
going agency to agency, looking to see what their inventory is, and it's more old school, right? It's more old school, and a lot of developers, they come in from these cities, and they expect that.
Yeah,
right?
same kind of.
And of course, we're more than happy to do that. But at the same time, it's like, get on the boat, man. You need to realize that we found a new way to do things and a better way to do things.
Definitely.
And it's something that really produces better results, which is digital marketing. Right?
Yeah, we're
That goes
consuming
hand in
it all
hand.
the time, right?
that goes hand in hand with what you were saying about having proper renderings and all that. You want to market this stuff.
Absolutely.
You have to have the proper stuff
Yeah.
so that you can.
Visit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And one of you guys' listings, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even meet the buyer until we were
Yeah.
at the closing. Really?
Yeah,
Right?
and we did what we had to do, whatever they needed to see, every single detail they got captured.
And that was through video showings and pictures and
It's a
things
new
like
age.
that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I know one of my last developments that I was representing, which was in Centro Histórico, I think probably 70% of that building sold sight unseen to the buyers, just with the digital
Amazing.
material. Just
Yeah.
with the digital material through Zoom calls.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a small boutique building, it was 12 units, but yeah, the huge percentage of it was, it was based off of digital materials that we were able to
And how was
sell it.
it ranked? Like the quality of the renders that you had for that project, was it great?
Yeah, Yeah.
See?
Yeah, it's emotional, right? A purchase is always going to be emotional. Mita, let's talk about Mita.
Mita,
Perfect.
well, if you haven't been there in a few weeks, they've paved a lot of the main roads down in the city center, so that's some update for the area. The developer themselves, they have 4 of the units already sold.
where exactly
the
is it?
It's right on the Otilio Montaño meet Libertad, which is
Punta de Mita.
Punta de
In the
Mita.
Pueblo Vallarta, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, in the town, like so.
Yeah.
So still same thing. You have like more of a Mexican charm around this development,
Okay.
right?
Right. There's great surf in the area. We have a rooftop amenities here. There's an infinity pool, lounge deck, barbecue area. We have the gym, parking spot for every unit, and there's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and the start
Very
at
spacious.
very
I have to
spacious.
say,
Yeah.
for like what's in the market recently. Like these apartments are really, really spacious.
And that's just a few blocks from the beach, right? That's like, what, 3 blocks?
Yeah, 3.5.
Great.
Yeah, it's a great surfer town, really. That's what you see. Everybody walks around with their surfboard and they just walk to the beach. And that's what Punta Mita is all about, right? The views, of course, the color of the water there.
The sand, it's okay. I want to say this.
Yeah.
So in that area, the beaches are like it's like a whole different world from Puerto Vallarta. In Puerto Vallarta, you have a lot of rocks and super grainy sand and choppy beaches and kind of dark water. And in Punta Mita, you have that really fine, like really almost white powdery sand, and the water it's super clear. It's that turquoise water that you can be at chest deep and look down and see your feet.
Yes.
Right? And then it also has the spots that are really great for surfing too. So it has great surf waves.
The break.
So you can find me on Instagram, Hannah, Hannah. Yes, there's an H at the end. Lopez, CBLC. So it's Hannah Lopez, the CBLC stands for Coldwell Banker La Costa. That's my Instagram handle, Hannah Lopez CBLC, or you can call me at 322-127-1893.
I love that.
And we're Team Ross, and we can be reached at Bohemian Living TV on Instagram and all the other ones too.
Yeah, same.
Same with our website, Bohemian Living TV.
And our phone number.
322-318-3819.
Until then, well, thank you for coming, and make sure to subscribe and follow us and like and everything. Share with your friends the word, and let us know if you need anything from the Bay, any guidance, especially on real estate. We'll be happy to be there.